Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel, Coding Without Knowing Coding. This is Ruby. Today I am going to teach you about control statements in Java. So what is statement? It contains expressions and ends with a semicolon. There are generally two types of statement in any programming language, sequential statements and control statements. Sequential statements are those statements which are executed in the order in which they are written, including the method calls. So they are executed by JVM one by one in a sequential manner, and that's why it is called sequential statements. They are used for writing simple programs. Control statements. Control statements are those statements which alter the flow of execution and provide better control to the programmer on the flow of the execution. They are useful to write better and complex programs. Control statements in Java are if-else statements, do while loop, for each loop, switch statements, break statements, continue statements, and return statements. In Java, if statement is used to test the condition. It checks Boolean condition that is true or false. So there are various type of if statement in Java like if statement, if-else statement, if-else if ladder, nested if statement. Now we talk about if-else statement. So if a condition is true, then the task 1 will be performed. If it is false, then task 2 will be performed. In if-else if statements, if condition 1 is true, then task 1 is performed. Else if condition 2 is true, then task 2 is performed. Else task 3 will be performed. Now we come to do while loop. So this loop is used when we need to execute a task or group of statements repeatedly as long as a condition is true. So when the condition is false, flow of execution come out of the loop. First the statements are executed, then the condition is checked here. Therefore, at least once statements are executed in do while loop. Now syntax is like do and then statements will be there and then while and inside bracket there will be condition. Now we come to while loop. In while loop, first condition is checked, then statements are executed in the loop. In while loop, a programmer has better control as compared to do while loop. Here condition is checked first, then the statements are executed. So the programmer has the control from the starting of the program. For loop, we execute a task or a group of statements as long as a condition is true. It is similar to do while or while loop, but it is more compact syntactically. So in syntax, we write first initialization, then semicolon, then condition, and then modification. Initialization is executed only once. Then we check the condition. If it is true, then next statements will be executed. Otherwise, it will come out of the loop. And modification is like increment or decrement or any the step size which we can take for this loop. So that is for loop. Now we come to nested for loops. A for loop within another for loop is known as nested for loop. For example, we take one for loop in which we initialize I equals to 1 and then we put condition I less than equals to 10 and then we increment it by 1. So then it statements 1 will be executed if the condition of I will be true, that is less than equals to 10. Then another loop comes which is j equals to 1 and then j is less than equals to 3 will be the condition to execute this for loop, and it will increase by 1 in each step. And if the condition is true, then statements 2 will be executed. Here inside loop is executed 3 times for each I value. Hence statements 2 will be executed 10 into 3 equals to 30 times. Now we come to switch statement. In switch statement, expression is evaluated once and the value of expression is compared with the value of each case. If it matches with any one of the value, then corresponding statement will be executed. Else, the default statements will be executed. Now we come to break statement. It is used to come out of the loop or switch block or any nested blocks. It breaks the current flow of the program at a specified condition. For example, in for loop, we take an integer I equals to 0 as initialization, and then we put condition that I should be less than 10. Then we put an increment. If I equals to 3, then it will break. Then system will print the value of I. So when I equals to 0, then it will check the condition if I equals to 3. So it is not. So that loop will continue. So we will be printing I equals to 0. So in the output it will be 0. When I equals to 1, then again it will go to the condition if I equals to 3, no. So 1 will be printed. Then next I equals to 2. So is I equals to 3? No. So 2 will be printed. Then when I equals to 3, so it will go to the condition if I equals to 3, yes. So it will break and come out of the loop. So 3 won't be printed. So the next statement is not executed when the break is appeared in any of the program. So that is the break statement. Continue statement. Continue statement we use when we want to skip the particular iteration and we want to jump to the next iteration. So it doesn't come out of the loop, but it just come out of that iteration as compared to the break statement. Return statement. Return statement is used to come out of any calling method in Java program or to return some values to the calling method. For example, if we are calling a method by name, my method from the main method, then if return is used, then it will come out of the my method and then it goes back to main method. So you may wonder what is method. A method is a function written inside a class which contains a group of statements to perform a task. So that's all for the today's session. Now we come to the review questions. Question number 1. What is true about a break statement? A. Break stops the execution of entire program. B. Break halts the execution and forces the control out of the loop. C. Break forces the control out of the loop and starts the execution of next iteration. D. Break halts the execution of the loop for certain time frame. Now question number 2. Which of the following is not a valid jump statement? A. Break. B. Go to. C. Continue. D. Return. Please write your answers in the comment section below. Till then, bye, take care.